Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. So, the Lagos State government has extended Okada ban to 4 more local government areas and 6 local council development areas. The Commissioner for Transport, Dr. Frederic Oladeinde, confirmed the development, noting that the decision was approved after a review of the earlier ban on commercial motorcycles operation in 6 local council areas. Joining us on the show today is the Special Advisor to the Governor on Transportation, Honorable Sola Giwa. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.
We would like to hear your thoughts from Lagosians who've experienced the ban, benefits, not benefits. Call us on 081-270-53687. You could also tweet to us at TVC Connect, #YourViewTVC. We'd love to hear from you. So, why the review? What was going wrong? What was going well? Why was there a need for a review to expand the areas where the Okada ban is being implemented?
Thank you, Tokwe. Basically, for every government, you have to sit down and review whatever action, whatever policy you have brought about. So sometimes this year, the first ban was started June 1st. So as a government that listened to people, we had to get views of people, feedback. How has it affected us? We spoke to them. We got feedback from the General Hospital. We got feedback from the police. And then we said we have to review this. So on Tuesday, we called a town hall meeting. Being a government, the government of Babajide Sanwo-Olu is a government that listens to people. We want everyone to be involved in whatever it is we're doing. So we held this town hall meeting. In fact, it was BKO that Babajide Oladeinde was the one that compared that debate. And what happened? Everyone there, from all facets of lives, the religious leaders were called, the Okadas were called, CDAs, the military, even the civil society were there, and even the academia. And unanimously, everyone was of the opinion that Lagos State should ban the activities of Okada as a commuter forms of transportation. So that's what everyone said. However, the governor, being the one that will execute this, we sat down with him and said, okay, yes, this is what the people want. However, we need to take this thing in phases. So that's why we came up with this new 4 local governments, 6 LCDAs. So now making half of the local government in Lagos. And if you look at what we've done so far, it will be starting from Oshodi down to Etiosa. So the connecting Oshodi, Mushin, Shomolu, Surulere,
and now captured
Bagada, Sola, that is talking about the airport road and all that, up to Etiosa, Lagos and VI Sule. So it's something that we sat down to do. So all the major express roads where most of these accidents happen, the major highways is where we are focusing on. And then Okada enforcement is something that's very risky. These guys will do anything to escape, and we don't want to lose lives, even though having those Okada on the road is causing lots of lives to be lost. However, even enforcing them in the first place can lead to loss of life or accident. So we have to balance it.
Can you tell us exactly what the stakeholders, what were the things that they noticed that they thought that this should be extended? What were the things that they mentioned that should encourage an extension of this ban?
Okay. It didn't ask for an extension. They asked for a blanket ban.
Yes, what?
A professor from Ogun State University, Professor Badejo, actually gave us a paper on it. Okay. And we saw the numbers of deaths, the numbers of accidents that is normally recorded in our hospitals has gone down drastically. Even the police said the number of crimes, the rate of crimes in the areas where we have banned it has gone down drastically. Fantastic. So based on that, so people can now sleep, people can now walk, because people can't even walk on the roadsides. So the idea is this has become a menace. And then what Lagos State has, the plan of Lagos State for commuter transportation is mass transit.
Yes.
So no country will actually say the way to go is moving by bikes. So you can imagine if we are moving even from Danfo, we are trying to move to high-capacity buses bringing the light rail that will convey people. So a big bus, say for example, a BRT bus, will take up to about, say 660 people. So one small, you can imagine the number even of emission that will come from 80 bikes or 10 buses. So this we're doing, so it's a comprehensive thing we're trying to do.
Nima, you?
So my concern is about how to do this without what I would call aggressive enforcement. So you see the police all the time trying to enforce this, and there are constant clashes. BC took a story in the paper today, a clash with the army. Yeah. Is there this is my suggestion, and I'm thinking maybe you buy into it, that, you know, the buses will be dispatched immediately so that the alternative is now there and people can see that the roads are free. And I also live in an area where it's almost, it's beyond possibility for us to imagine that there will be no bike. Because you can only, sometimes our kids will be like, Mommy, everybody's going on the bike, can we get out of the car? Because that's the reality. How quickly can you say enforcement of traffic, and we can get free traffic in certain areas before, you know, the bikes come?
Mention the areas so that...
Okay, for instance, on Old Ojo Road, your Lagos State has not been felt on Old Ojo Road for years now. They have not been felt. Under this present administration, the immediate past one completely abandoned. And then they continue to license terminals, all the way into Satellite Town, licensing of terminals within residential areas for people who have always known a soft, easy life of taking a shuttle bus. We are now Okada people. So if you bring an Okada ban, and we're looking like,
how would you survive?
Are you people pretending? Don't you know the problems that you have approved to come and live with us? How do you want to get us out of it? So,
okay, basically, I will definitely talk about the issue of the tank farms and the tankers, because I have a lot to do with that in my last assignment for the state. However, if you notice where you mentioned, Ojo is not even where...
I know you would not come there. So just give us...
we are a systemic government. Whatever we do, we have to look into it. We have to... What will be the repercussion of this? What are the pros and cons? We know there are some things we need to put in places. If you look at all these local government and LCDAs that we have banned Okada there, you will see that we have the first mile and last mile buses in those places, or the normal buses that will go into the arterial roads. So it is a systemic thing that we know that for us to pull something else, we have to put something in place. So for all these places, the first and last miles buses have been, Lamata has already...
So what kind of buses are they?
Oh, just small mini buses. So these mini buses are meant to go into the arterial roads, where the bikes usually go. And seriously, there are ways we were moving before the bikes come. Even for our health.
We were walking.
We were walking. From your house to the bus stop, we all walk. And then we are not really looking at it. We should look at the security of lives and property. And then you know there are mob actions.
Plant more trees.
So you know, my initial question was on the enforcement.
Yeah, so let me get to the enforcement.
So I know what the security is about.
Okay.
I'm asking how quick the alternative is there. So people just don't patronize them rather than have police aggression.
Okay, so the enforcement we have is a model for the enforcement. We are working with the police. And then we have a group of young men that we are training to work with police. So it's also a form of employment, job creation. So we have what is called the anti-Okada squad. So we recruit them from the locality and work with the DPO. So the DPO gives them police backup. So that is how we've been doing this. So we train them, yes, for 2 weeks. So we're already recruiting now. No, they started the training. Yes, they started training yesterday. So what we're doing is we train them on how to enforce this law, how to be able to arrest these bikers without causing any accident or any damage. So we understand that, like I said, arresting a bike is even harder than arresting a truck.
Exactly.
Because the bike is easier to maneuver and the guy will want to do everything to escape. So like I said, it's a phase. And on the issue of the tank farm, I must talk about it. We are already engaging with the tanker owners. You know what we did in Apapa with MPA? So we are extending the same thing to the tanker farmers. In fact, Mr. Governor has given us permission to speak with them. We're already engaging them. So we have to look at it in relation to the physical planning and all that. We know that. See, another thing you don't understand is that most of these permits comes from the federal government.
I would you know, I really, this tank farm issue, we cannot, let's not even enter there.
Because
tank farm is a full day.
So I will come here.
Yes.
Just call me.
Yes.
There's a plan on ground. We're already in discussion with them. And there's a side that's going to work.
Yes. We will arrange it very well. Let's take a break now. When we come back, yes, today is Okada ban that we're dealing with. When we come back, we'll ask more questions and we'll be willing to take your calls and tweets regarding the ban on Okadas in some areas within Lagos State. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. We still have with us Honorable Sola Giwa, who is talking to us about the Okada ban that has been extended to 4 more local governments, 6 LCDAs within Lagos State after a town hall meeting was had to discuss the review. BC had a question for you before
the break. I wanted to find out if this current one that has just been extended, that will be starting September 1st, if there are enough mini-buses to cover the areas. That's one. And how are you going about those roads that still need some sort of fixing? You know, the roads that don't allow vehicles to enter in the first place and why people resort to taking bikes. How are you running everything together to ease this restriction?
Okay, so I think I should start from the back for you.
Okay.
It's not the road that make people start
taking bikes.
It was the economic downturn. And then even a government policy of giving bikes, politicians giving out bikes. And we know what that's cost. We don't have artisans again. We don't have people doing any work. Yeah, sure. So we have to start importing artisans from Togo and Lome. So that's not the reason. However, for the roads, the public works have been taxed and been doing a lot in fixing the roads. In fact, every day, they work now night and day. Okay. And they list the numbers of roads and the streets that they are doing every day, every night. Fixing the arterial road, that's the public works bureau. And then Lamata has pushed out 1,000 buses, those first mile and last mile, and more are still coming out. I said this is a deliberate, we're doing this deliberately. That is, we know the areas where we need to fix these things. That's why we said we had 6 before, now added 4. Make it half of all the local governments that we have. And like I said, if you look at it, it's all the way from Oshodi and Ejigbo, connecting the airport road to Oshodi again, Moshe to Surulere, then Bagada. You understand? These are the places where we have all the arterial, even including this place, Ikosejiri.
So you mean the Okadas are now banned here?
Are banned here.
Wow.
True.
No, but okay. So let's break it down.
Yes.
When we have this Okada ban, are they still allowed to operate in the corners inside the streets?
No.
You're saying there's a complete ban?
There's a complete ban in that in all the LCDAs and the local government that were mentioned.
They don't want to see you at all.
At all.
Okay.
You know, so in this area, let's say, for example, there are shuttle buses around here.
Yes, I know that they brought in shuttle buses here. But my concern is people who have lived their lives, and where I used to stay before, we had like 8 to 10 people that their livelihood was from riding bikes. And they came from the north, got bikes when they got here. And right now, I'm imagining what would their livelihood, what would they do as a means of survival while they cannot do their regular business of riding a bike. Are we also tracking the number of increased crime that are not bike-related but could be indirectly bike-related because they can't be on bikes anymore?
Are not bike-related, indirectly bike-related.
Yes.
Yes. So I understand. So we're talking about the economic
hardship
of this. So basically what we look at it, there are 2. We're speaking about security and then health issues. Now, we now want to talk about the issue of employment and the economy. So basically, Lagos State are putting so many things in place to make this easy. We have the Lagos State Employment Trust Funds for SMEs.
Is it available to Okada riders to go there and say, I was riding a bike before, now I want to get a job?
So we have, WAPA, Ministry of Women Affairs is there, that we have so many vocational schools.
Centers, I know.
Then we have the Agric, for farmers. If you look at this, we said these Okada riders are from the north. What they were doing before was actually farming. So the idea is about quick money. Everybody just want to make quick money. And there's no easy ride to success. We have to be able to do something. So we have to just suppose we want...
So you're saying the information now is people that used to ride bikes before, they can now go to their farm
Exactly.
land.
We have agreed, yes, they will get. So also all the vocational centers. And now there's something you're not looking at. What is the age range of the people that are riding this bike? They are between 25. They're even coming down from 18 to like 35. So how do you retire? How do you sustain this?
They're not thinking that right now.
They're not thinking that. After riding Okada for how many years, what will you do? So it's that age that is the most productive in the society is the one that is being wasted.
Okay, so for me, knowing the insecurity and everything happening in the north and why it's a major source of just the movement of a lot of young people to this part of the country, you know, but let's...
That's your own assertion.
Yes, let's park it there. Let's talk about enforcement in Lagos State of the previous ban, of the existing ban. We know that there are times during the day, very early in the morning or much later at night, and we see people on bikes. So it means that the enforcement is not 24-hour enforcement. And also, we need to understand, are there a particular group of people that are allowed to use their bikes, like soldiers, police officers, dispatch riders, especially when we have stories of police officers trying to enforce a ban and soldiers attacking them for doing that?
Okay, so basically, for every law that we have, the police is empowered to make sure that those laws are enforced. That's the most important. And the police works 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Okay.
Yes.
If
that's
you
what
say
they sign
so,
up. That's what the police sign up for.
Yeah,
what
that's
they signed up
That's
for.
what they signed up
Doing,
for. That's what they signed up for.
Okay.
So that is that. So enforcement should be 24 hours. Even though for the guys that we are trained, they don't work 24 hours. They work from morning till evening. That is what we have on ground. However, so back to your question again. Police officers, I'm still coming there. Police officers and military officers are allowed to use their bike because even the government has procured these bikes for them on loan as gifts for ease of movement. You understand it now? So what do we say? That if you must ride these bikes as a police officer, you should be in your complete uniform.
Oh.
Yes.
Or a military officer.
Yes.
Are you communicating
That
that?
explains why this incident happened then.
Yes.
Because probably
It was
wasn't...
in plain clothes.
Yes. So you have to be in your complete... So you get it now. Even last man has bikes, don't forget.
Okay.
The police has bikes also. And also...
But their bikes are rigged different. They usually have
of course.
those...
So we say the bikes will have to be at least 222 cc.
Okay.
That should be the power of the bike that you're going to use. However, it's when you give power to people, we should all respect the law. Yeah. You should not be a lawbreaker. One of the major things that came out of that conference that we had, that debate that we had, town hall meeting, that we had was that the police should stop buying vehicles for their brothers or Okada for their brothers and people. Someone said that. Politicians should stop using it to do poverty alleviation.
Thank you.
We don't need bikes.
We don't need bikes. This is a 21st century economy. This is a smart city. So we need to get to that level. Look at what the governor just did day before yesterday. The last beam of the rail that was going to come from Mile 2 to CMS has just been completed. And the governor has assured us that by the grace of God, by the end of this year, that line will be ready.
Wow.
And the same thing for the red line. So, and that will also solve some of your issues.
I have been counting down to the...
The promise of Governor Badije Sanwo-Olu is a talk and do governor. When he says something,
We
it
can see
delivers.
it. Talk and do.
Yes.
One of the major highways where Okada ban is effective now is Apapa Oshodi again. So I wanted clarity because the reality is that it's still not ripe yet.
It's not implemented.
Time. So if you look at from Sonya presently, this morning was when I saw sanity for the past 2 weeks from Sonya all the way to Bega Bridge at least, because I have done beggar ones just to see how bad it was, just to get to work. It's constant traffic because there's construction. And so people would resort to Okada. Where exactly in Apapa would you say is traffic free where you don't expect to see and the shuttle buses are working?
Okay, so when you mentioned Soya, you are mixing it up with Apapa.
I'm just giving you both stop landmarks.
So,
okay,
we don't let
Mile 2 to Apapa.
Exactly. Mile 2 to
but the traffic starts from
Mile 2 to Tinkan.
So you said something. Yes. So there's no way we want to develop that we will not be able to take in some pains. You can't have omelette without breaking. Yes, no. I'm being sincere. There's no way we'll make omelette without breaking eggs. We want progress. This government is putting all the major infrastructure in place. And don't forget that infrastructure needs to be renewed.
Yes.
Even if you build a road, we don't renew it. And then so as we are building that road, we have to at least allow the pains a bit. But at the end of the day, you're still going to laugh. If you remember Okpebi Road, it used to be very bad then. Now everybody's going up and down on So of course, there's always a bit of hardship. However, what we're trying to do is that we have to manage the traffic. In Lagos, the rural-urban migration is high because of the facility, because of what the government of Lagos State
is doing.
And will continue to do it. So people that are moving. However, Ogun State is actually taking advantage of that.
Please, let's not talk about Ogun State. Let me take this phone call. Because Bernard has called in from Port Harcourt. I'm wondering, we're discussing Lagos and Bernard is calling from Port Harcourt. Bernard, welcome to the show. Good morning.
Maybe a Lagosian.
Good morning. You're wondering if they're at the right point. I actually called. I've been having this thing to tell you last year, but I've not made it. But today I've made it. Okay. So I actually called to say that I always appreciate your perspective on every issue. Therefore, I called you my philosopher. That is why I called. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. Please, let's not go to Ogun State. We are waiting for
I was actually talking about the rural-urban migration.
Yeah.
And Ogun State is doing a lot with Lagos State to stem that. People will come to Lagos because Lagos is vibrant. Because the governor of Lagos is doing so many things, doing the right thing. So people will come. So, however, it means that when there's prosperity, you will see traffic. However, it is the traffic that you cannot manage that is the problem. So the whole idea is every part of Lagos, if you go to New York, there's always traffic there. Yes. Well, you can predict how you move. When it turns to when you cannot predict how you come from here to from here to Alausa, that becomes a problem. If you can manage the traffic, the time, then it's really no traffic. So gridlock is what we do not want. We don't want gridlock.
Well, we can always manage traffic.
LASMA is really on their toes.
I must commend LASMA.
Yes, please. They are doing a yeoman's job. I can tell you. They are doing a yeoman's job.
We'll take a quick break. When we return, I can see some questions. We'll take questions from YouTube. We'll take questions from Twitter. And we'll take business questions as well. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing the ban on Okadas in Lagos State and the expansion of the area where Okadas are banned with Honorable Giwa, Sola Giwa. Sir, you have been around. You are a Lagos of Lagos. You are a Lagosian of
a Lagosian.
If Murai was around, she would connect with you because all of you are Isaleko, Lagos people. And for a long time, the last time I was in Lagos, it was a very stressful journey within the market because I was so used to, I'll park my car somewhere and take a bike,
CBD,
go to Tom Jones, take a bike from there to Balogun, and now we're unable to have that flexibility. It slows, I hope the data you've gotten shows that it slowed down business within. How are you resolving the internal Okada for people within Lagos Island?
Please, may I add this one? There's a message here from Property Madam on YouTube. It says, how effective is the ban of Okada in Lagos? The Okada riders in Abule Egba returned after about 2 weeks after the ban. Some are even facing one way right now. I was there 2 weeks ago, and I noticed there were a lot of bike activities.
Abule Egba was not part of
this current ban. Okay.
It's not part of it. Don't forget that before now, there's a law that does not allow bikes to be on the highway.
Yes.
So what we are doing is not something, it was because of COVID, NSAS, and all that affected the enforcement. So what we are doing is actually not new. But we are taking it in phases because we understand the fact that it has economic impact. However, the health impact and security impact outweighs the economic impact. And then the government is doing a lot of cushion. Lagos State is doing a lot to cushion that economic impact. However, back to your question of Lagos. So to you, that's...
It's not an area,
let me just take this call from Ikotun. Melvin has called in from Ikotun, then we'll add it to the question you were about to answer. Melvin, welcome to the show. Oh, we lost the call, so you can...
Lagos Island is a total ban.
They say it's back again.
Okay.
Hello, welcome to the show.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I would like to speak on the topic right now, the ban of Okada. Okay, yeah. It's actually a good development. I won't lie. It's a good development. And the fact that they are actually going to ban the bikes on the express road, it's not a bad thing because I'm in support of that. Because, you know, when I'm driving, I see the way these guys drive on the road. It's really not nice. But banning it close to streets, like I have an elder, my parents are old. When they get to church, they take bikes to the church. Because most times they can really can't access the road. The road is a bit bad. Now, what about those streets that are very, very far, like from the bus stop? How do they trek down to the house? That's my concern. Banning it along the road. Banning it along the road, like the express road, like the Mochu Road, the Oshodi, I'm in support of that. But in that street, I think to be fair, they shouldn't ban that. The ones on the street, like, I think to be fair. And what is the alternative? Would they give them jobs? Would there be job creation?
All right, thank you, Melvin. So you have a combination.
I think the question is almost the same. So if you look at Lagos Island, my immediate appointment, I was the senior special assistant to Mr. Governor on Central Business District.
Okay.
So I understand what you're saying. However, if you look at Lagos Island, Marina, there's a whole lot of parking space for you there. That is true. However, people hardly use that parking space on the outside Marina. Everybody wants to drive in. And then you're coming to a Central Business District. Usually, anytime you want to go to a Central Business District, you park and then you walk. From Balogun to Tom Jones, it's just like 3 minutes walk. Yes, look at it. I'm being sincere with you.
Body pushing body.
So I understand that. But I'd rather you, when you go to Dubai, from one place to the other, you do your...
It's true, man.
You walk. When we travel out of Lagos or Nigeria, we walk.
Yes, we do.
Why don't we want to walk here? Between Tinubu and Idumota is a walking distance. Or Tinubu to Tom Jones, from Tom Jones. Yes, that's the honest truth. So we need to...
walking distance.
No, of course, on a Sunday is understandable. However, even with the market people there, they have shops. They don't even want to put their wares in the shop. They want to come outside and put it in put it right in your face. So it's also something that we need to work on as a people. Can we do things better than the way it is? So, and for bus stops, there's this adage in Yoruba, or something where the chicken was eaten before
there was maize.
There was maize or corn. We used to, and it's even good for our heart, it's good for our health. So we need to walk a bit. It's not something you want to walk a long distance.
All right, so let's take a call from...
questions.
Yeah, after this call from Oluwakemi. Oluwakemi is called in from Festac. Welcome to the show, Kemi.
Thank you.
You're live. Please ask your question.
Oh, my question is on the hot topic going on now, the Okada ban.
Go ahead, please.
And what I want to say is, I hope those that were employed to be arrested or seen to it that they obey the law I hope they will not be collecting bribes.
Thank you so much. That's a good question. Those that are meant to arrest.
Yes. So basically, where do you want to run to? The bikes that you arrest. It's not so these guys that we say they work with police and our own officials. So there's an official with them who is a civil servant. Who understand that the fact that his job is also on the line if he's caught. So and then when you catch you, of course, what you do. So what we do with the bikes is once we arrest those vehicles, we take them for crushing immediately. So how do you even want to move them? So of course we have incentives for them. We know what we're doing with them. However, we'll get there.
Okay, we've got a few questions. So Sean Phillips here says, can we ride bicycles on the routes where bikes have been banned? That's one. And Lions Group says, I would also like to confirm something about the Okada ban. Does this ban affect us with private bikes? Because I am embarrassed every blessed day by policemen or area boys acting on behalf of Lagos State government. Please, I need more clarification.
I also need clarification on what you refer to as private.
His personal.
Is it the small one?
Exactly. If you have anything less than 200 and 220 cc's, you cannot ply
even if it's a private one.
Even if it's a private one, because it is not safe.
Okay.
The engine capacity is not safe. And then the emission from even that lower engine capacity is also not good. So that is that. So if you, and then also as riding your own personal motorcycle, or ensure that you have all your safety gadgets, especially your helmet, and get your rider's card. That's that. And for bikes, bicycle is good. We're encouraging it.
Okay.
We're encouraging the bicycle.
Okay,
It's good for our health.
Let me take this call, then we'll come to your question. Alade is called in from Lagos Island. Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I observed that they have been granting our honorable so many food.
Okay.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Alade from Lagos Island.
All right, go ahead. You're live.
Okay, firstly, I would like to congratulate Honorable Sola Giwa on the new appointment. He has been doing great. And also, I observed that he has been attending so many questions and perfectly he answered.
It's not so clear, but his congratulations message connected with you. Nima has a message.
Oluwadamilare says, you said there are a lot of poverty alleviation programs for the banned Okada riders. Is this information readily available to them? Are they aware of the opportunities? And I took this tweet because you mentioned LST as an alternative, and I know how many artisans that I have pushed there whose application did not pass stage. Nobody called them.
They did not fulfill the requirements.
So what is the requirement? If it is for us to create an alternative, why is the requirement so stringent?
Because to ride a bike, you just need to own a bike.
Okay, I will explain something to you. This is when I was a member of the House of Assembly. And I was the chairman of our House Committee on Wealth Creation, which that agency
came under.
Is under. I collected the forms for a lot of people. I did guarantor for a lot of them. I tell you, I still have loans I'm still paying back right now.
People are not ready.
People collect the money and disappear.
They see it as commonwealth.
So, you understand? So right now, more stringent measures are being put in to effect. However, there's still
skill acquisition.
No, the skill acquisition. You come to WAPA. So we have WAPA there. Even we have WAPA, then the civil engagement, Ministry of Civil Engagement. Seriously. So for me, Nima.
But these are only open to Lagos citizens.
No, they are open to only Lagos citizens. So what I'm saying is this. On TV now, I'm telling you, I'm putting myself. So you be called. So. Of course, you go online, you feel, if you meet the criteria, you so I will engage you.
Okay,
please engage me that we'll do this.
We have a phone call. Let's talk to Alhaji Subara. Alhaji Subara, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, you're live.
Thank you very much. Let me just direct my statement to Lagosians.
Okay.
I want Lagosians to understand the basic reason why you know, the government of Lagos State is banning Okada because of the citizens of Lagos. We should understand the security challenge we are facing in this country.
Sure.
Everybody, we should understand things are not the way it is, especially on security. And I give kudos to Lagos State government, you know, and I still want them, you know, to extend that, you know, that ban to other local governments, especially in, you know, in Ademosho too. You understand? So it is. I want Lagosians to understand the basic principle of this Okada issue. We have got a lot of experience and we have got a lot of information. And of recent, Lagos State Police Commissioner is telling us that Lagos is a red alert. So you know what it means by that. When the state is on a red alert, that means all things is not well. And please, I'm appealing to the Lagos State government. The past government, he introduced neighborhood watch, basically because of a principle, because of this.
All right, I wanted to ask you.
The extent, you know, the performance of this the neighborhood watch now, you know, they need to be equipped. Look at what is happening in Ondo State. The Amatekun, you see the performance they are doing, and I believe that is to be a kind of reflection, you know.
Thank you, Alhaji Subar. But we're talking about Okadas, so let's stick to the topic. I wanted to ask you about the prosecution. We discussed this on the show the day the announcement came out that not only would they prosecute
the Okada
riders,
but
that they will prosecute the passengers as well. How successful has that been? And do you know, you have the data. Has this served as a deterrent for people when they feel they might get prosecuted?
I must be sincere with you. There's been high compliance with this ban. Though we still see errant drivers, errant people that are just negative-minded or criminal-minded that still want to continue. So they are testing the limit of the government. Yes. So this government is saying that we will not take it. The health and security of our people is important. Yes. And the alternatives for you, if you really want to engage yourself in lawful job. So that is it.
Let's take Uzo from Bariga. Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Morning. On this show, this Okada ban, initially when the 9 and the 6 everything we are banned, we are some of us are in support because some of them are like Ikeja, capital cities, then Lakes, Ivory areas, Papa, commercial centers, so those all were supported. But now they're sitting to Bariga and some other environments. Bariga is a peace-loving place. We don't have challenges of security here. So this shop, including Bariga, is not a welcome development.
Okay.
We live in Bariga for the past 40 years now. They had no issue of robbery involving Okada and other things. So including Bariga is a robbery. I think last time there's a robbery at the IFS Bank at Charlie Boss, those Okada that the people that you pursue the robber, they caught him for police. You can confirm from the police station.
Okay, so Uzo is contesting the fact that Bariga is being included, that Bariga's
has been peaceful.
It's been peaceful, Okadas have been
behaving.
So like I said, it's a trend. It's been peaceful does not actually mean that something might not come up. And that's that. And also, let us look at it ultimately. Lagos State plan. The plan for Lagos State is urban mass transit. So that is it. So we have to start. People need to know that. And really, like you said, Bariga has been largely peaceful. However, there's a good road connectivity and commuter bus shuttle around
everywhere. They drop you right in front of you.
So what we're saying is that please let us, and then these Okadas actually add to the traffic. That's what a lot of people don't get. They come in your front, they park anyhow, they stop anywhere, they bash your car. And I must say this, we are starting seeing a trend now. The dispatch riders.
I wrote it like that was my last question to you.
We are starting seeing this same mob action type of activity with the dispatch riders. I think it's this
reckless driving,
not waiting for red lights. And I'm using the opportunity to tell you, we are coming for you. I'm not saying yes. We are coming. No, we're not coming for the businesses. The lives
comply.
The lives of Lagosians is important. Rules must be followed. Without law and order, we cannot have a society. Everyone would have to comply with the law. And these laws, is not as if they just come out arbitrarily. You just don't bring it up. So we are going to review their activities and we'll give them stand. Luckily, they are all registered with us. So it's easy for us to pull them back. They are regulated. So we're going to meet with them very soon. However, I'm using this, excuse me, I'm using this opportunity to tell those people that own those courier companies that it's high time you call the riders to order.
So final. We extend this ban to Sherry North, GRA.
Well, we are still dealing with this.
Yes.
It's in phases, like I said. We'll still sit down, review. We'll still come here and review it again and see how it goes.
Thank you.
Okay, just in support, there are a few messages in support. Ewedairo Amina says, I support the ban of bike on the express to reduce at the rate at which people have died and get injured on a daily basis. Thank God it has reduced, but they should do something about the traffic. And then there's Dolani Robert who says, kudos to the governor for giving the restriction ban on Okada riders advance notice. This is a way to go to restore sanity in our transportation sector. Unemployment is not a yardstick to ignore activities of Okada riders. I took this before, so that you also know that there are people who are in support.
Thank you so much, Honorable Sola Giwa, for joining us. You've given us a lot of information. Please, everybody should be mindful of the fact that the implementation on these 4 local government and 6 LCDAs will start from the 1st of September, right? So between now and then, clear your bikes off those particular local governments, and hopefully we'll see more reduction in crime rates and hospitalizations due to accidents. Thank you once again. We'll take a quick break.
Thank you.
When we return, we'll bring in our celebrity guests. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.